But your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
That's true. But they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They're not going to be doing that. They're not going to be doing that.
When you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the Wright Brothers. As you see, there's only one of us this time. This is because the elder felder, Trey, he's actually pursuing higher education, and between that and juggling a family, sometimes the hours can just slip away from you. But luckily, there's at least one of us who's here to bring the news to you today, this week. And we want to talk today about the Migrant Caravan and the media coverage around it. Now, first and foremost, shout out to all of our subscribers and loyal members of the tribe. We appreciate you. We couldn't do this without your support. If this is your first time watching, please feel free to press the subscribe button down below and also click the bell so you're part of our notification team and you never miss a future upload from the Wright Brothers. Now, we want to talk today about is the Migrant Caravan and its effect not just on America, but on Mexico as well, because it's very interesting to see the stories coming out of both countries. What's most important to realize, though, is that this shouldn't even be a news story. What's happening is people are trying to breach our southern border, and the sovereign nation of the United States has said we will not allow this, and they have stopped people from illegally immigrating into our country. That shouldn't be a story. But what's crazy is here we are in 2018, and apparently this is the hottest topic of the month or the year. So we want to realize, though, is that with the Migrant Caravan, you're going to see a picture that's going to come out and it's going to circulate around the media outlets of a mother and two children fleeing from tear gas. I'm going to throw that photo for you now as I keep talking, but what I want you to be very aware of is that the media is very good at manipulating what a situation looks like. What they do not show you is the large numbers of men, military-aged men, mind you, who are attempting to rush the southern border, but they will cherry pick and find these pictures that evoke certain reactions of either sympathy for the migrants or outrage towards the current administration. What's interesting, though, is that with all these people who are coming out and decrying these acts against illegal immigrants who are attempting to come to America illegally, what's interesting to note is that the Washington Times actually reported that the Obama administration also used tear gas on a very regular basis during their years. And it's interesting to see, though, how no one talked about it then. But now it is one of the most outrageous things that could ever transpire. So remember that virtue signaling and pandering is alive and well, and it's only going to continue as we move forward. What's also interesting to realize, though, is that the residents of Mexico and Tijuana particularly, who have been inundated by these migrant caravans and from people from Central American countries, that they have said no more. And as we'll play in the clip that's about to play just now, you'll see that they actually agree with President Trump's indication that this is an invasion and that these people are coming here. They're not coming here to look for asylum per se. They're coming here to look for jobs or what have you. And that's all beside the point. But I want to play this clip for you now. I want you to listen very carefully to what these people are saying.
Donald Trump tenía la razón. Es una invasión. Lo que dijo Donald Trump es verdad. Es una invasión. Abran los ojos, México.
So it's very interesting to see that the residents of Tijuana basically are saying that this is an invasion, that these people are coming here and they're upending their way of life. And the people of Tijuana have been inundated by this, particularly, though, because of something else. The migrants could have been in Texas, where I and Trey lived, several weeks ago, but they didn't. They didn't come here. They went to California to try to breach the border there. Why is that the case? The reason for that is because California has identified themselves, they've self-identified as a sanctuary state, or they have at least sanctuary cities. They're close to the border where residents or illegal immigrants can come in, and they are basically able to draw from the wealth and benevolence of the American system, what have you, whenever they want. And people did not choose to come to Texas to do that because I feel like they knew that the reception at the Texas border, the Texas-Mexico border, would have been a little different than the reception in California, regardless of how tenuous that situation still is. But I digress. So what we need to be aware of is that this is only going to continue as long as we have politicians that choose to put illegal immigrants and their desires and needs above the needs of their own constituents. I think it's terrible what's going on in California. Obviously, it suffered through a terrible wildfire. And instead of us focusing on ways that we can financially contribute to help those American citizens get back on their feet, instead what we're doing is we're going out of our way to invite other people to come in to largely draw off a system that is only going to further sink California into a state of financial disrepair. And I think that goes against what we should do as Americans, because as Americans, we truly do come first. This is our country, and that should not be a revolutionary concept. But this is 2018, and it is what it is at this point. So hopefully the escalations at the border will be de-escalated over time, but only time will tell. But be very aware of the way the media wants to portray what's going on at the border. There's always going to be calls for sympathy or for empathy. But remember, at the end of the day, what matters most is that these people are knowingly coming here illegally. And one could say they're coming here just for a better life, and that's all fine and good, but we have a particular process in a way for you to do that. Now, I'm going to show you an example right now of kind of what's going on with our immigration system right now and how people are calling for illegal immigration or whatnot. And bear in mind, this is not going to in any way, I'm not doing this demonstration to diminish the personhood of anyone, any individual. I'm just going to say that going into this right now. But now I want to go into a little bit of a demonstration to show you exactly what happens when you just allow anyone and everyone to breach your borders and come into your country. Okay, we're all set. So check this out. I've got 5 cups in front of me, right? Just 5 generic benign cups. There's nothing in each one. These cups are all empty. There's nothing in them, all right? Nothing in them at all. What we're going to do for the purpose of our experiment is we're going to take just some regular Gatorade. I love lemon lime Gatorade. Just going to pour some in this cup, some in this cup, and on down the line. Cool. All right. So we have this Gatorade, right? It's good for us, you know, if you've had a long workout or whatnot, it's fantastic. But here's what's going to happen next. Now, a little bit of ammonia, right? Great value brand. I'm cheap. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour a little bit of this ammonia into the Gatorade. Same color. Obviously, ammonia is not safe to ingest by any means. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to take these cups. I'm just going to start moving them around. Okay. So, at random, got our cups all lined back up now, all right? Sight unseen. Would it be wise for me to just randomly take the risk of assuming, oh, I only have a 20% chance of getting burned or going to the hospital for ingesting ammonia? Is that a good idea? Obviously, the answer is no. But this just illustrates the risk that we take when we do not properly vet people who want to come to our country. All right? It's not that hard to understand, but I use this example just to show you that people are going to say, oh, well, these people are looking for a better life or what have you. And this all may be true. But what's important to remember is that we have a process in place to effectively vet. For example, if these were people coming to the country, or we could have a process in place. It's a litmus test. Get a piece of litmus paper, figure out which person is going to contribute well to the country and which person may actually detract from it. But I use this example just to illustrate that it's important for us to remember that vetting people who come to our country is obviously the right of our country, but it's also important because if you don't, who knows who is going to come to your country and what malintent they may harbor for you. So that's just the example I've got for you real quick. It should be hopefully easy to understand. If it's not, there may be some other problems we need to talk about, but I digress. So we're going to go back to the main video now. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the migrant caravan crisis as it stands today? How do you think it will resolve itself? Do you think they will continue to breach our southern border? I want to hear from you. As we always say on this channel, the only way to make free thought great again is by being willing to have the conversation. All we ask that you contribute to that conversation. This is a dialogue. We're just giving our thoughts, either me or my older brother. And we want to hear from you and hear your thoughts as well, because y'all are all part of our family, our community. And we want to hear from you what you think is most important to take away from all of this. So we appreciate you taking this time once again, or I appreciate you taking this time Eddie will be back in the near future. Look forward to having him back. But in the meantime, y'all keep being fantastic. Thank you all for your support. Shout out to everybody who has been a loyal subscriber from the beginning. And without further ado, thanks and gig 'em.
The first revolution is when you change your mind about how you look at things and see that there might be another way to look at it that you have not been shown. The revolution will not be televised, and be no rerun, brothers and sisters. The revolution will be live.